out, please, and be interviewed, they won't be able to do it. I stopped a policeman in Paris once and said, which way to the opera, and I nearly got arrested, so good luck to them. They're not the only mad people around, of course. This has been a big week for electronic games freaks, and they're the sort of people who score a noisy 7 billion at Space Invaders while the rest of us are trying to have a quiet conversation. Now, virtually every electronic game imaginable was on display at Britain's largest toy and hobbies fair at Earl's Court this week, and it's clear that the manufacturers reckon that the boom in video games is here to stay, although some people are still keen on a more traditional game, as Danny Baker has discovered.
Sometimes it seems as though video games have taken over. Everywhere you go, the pub, the club, the local cafe, and even the kids' bedroom, there's that familiar sound. But there are people determined to fight this video invasion. They're the traditionalists who still worship the plaything of an earlier era, pinball. The idea of pinball is to score as many points as you can by flipping silver balls around the table. Sounds easy, but to pinball fans like Geoff Harvey, it's a way of life. He's a true pinball fanatic, and he'll play anywhere, anytime. His own house is virtually a pinball arcade. There are pin tables everywhere, 207 to be precise. With so many machines, Geoff doesn't even have to leave a game to have breakfast. He just rests the ball on a flipper and munches. Geoff has a very special relationship with his machines. Do you form a relationship with machines? Do you talk to them?
Very much so. I talk to them. I often turn them on at night and just look at them if I can't sleep, because I think they're incredible to look at. Apparently I have been heard making pinball machine noises at night in my sleep. While most people talk in their sleep, I seem to make strange noises akin to pinball machine noises. It's quite interesting.
Geoff's so obsessed he takes a pin table everywhere, even down to the local pub. In fact, he's a leading light at the regular meets where pinball addicts from all over London gather to play and just talk about, yeah, you've guessed it, pinball. So what is it about pinball that makes grown men love it so much?
Well, you tell the men from the boys with the size of their toys. That's what they say. And I suppose when you're a kid, you pump threatening bits, give them the age away, into the old machine. Now it's 20p for 5 balls, but, you know, I thought, when I'm big enough, I'm going to have one of these.
The trouble is that pinball addiction can get out of hand.
Gone from being merely a hobby to becoming an obsession. I do find some time for one or two other things, but really, it takes up 75% of my spare time.
Oh, your fingers occasionally get a bit sore and ache a bit. I break my fingernails quite a bit.
She doesn't say, I've got a headache tonight, dear. She says, tilt.
Of course, the pinball freaks despise the newfangled video games.
I have a very low opinion of them. You know, if you want to sit around pressing buttons all day, get a job on an assembly line.
But with the Space Invader, you can learn how to play that. And once you can always play it in your sleep once you know how to play it.
But then the fans of video games don't have much respect for the pinballers either.
What's your opinion of pinball machines?
Boring.
Yeah. I feel a load of rubbish, really. Because you're just hitting the ball all the time, aren't you? You're just banging two buttons.
Video games are doing something all the time.
Like the pinballs, it's an old game anyway, isn't it? It's from back in the 50s, they had the pinballs and they were just boring then, I reckon.
So what type of people do you think settle for pinball machines?
Older people.
So what type of people would play at a pinball machine then?
Yobs.
Even the landlord of the pub where the pinballers met was pretty scathing.
People who played it are so moronic, so morose, they're almost imbecilic. You know, I had people jumping up and down because the ball got 350s and they went...
You know, I've been hanging around these people all day and I've come to the conclusion, well, grown men and women obsessed with juvenile games, there's got to be something wrong with them, isn't there? Me, I've got far better things to do in my time.
Well, speaking as a moronic...
A moronic old has-been.
Yeah, moronic yob, I'm enjoying this very much. This is the old game, isn't it?
Do your flippers. Do your flippers.
Oh, that's that. Doesn't mean it...
You're hopeless. You're hopeless.
I'm not. I'm just a moronic old yob. I can't be expected to do too much. Have you played this a lot in your life, then?
Yes, I'm one of those old has-beens from the 50s that started then when I was at primary school.
Well, what's the secret of a good scorer?
I'm going to show you. It's tilt.
tilt.
Women can do and men can't, which is that.
I can do that.
Yeah, well, you do yourself a grievous bodily injury if you... See, women have got much better hip muscles for that.
God, you're right. That was mad. Was that a tilt that did that?
Yes, it's, you know, pelvic thrust, I think it's called.
I
don't
can
even
do
go
that.
into this anymore on the 6 o'clock show. But, you know, one of those men in the film actually said he'd like to be buried in a pinball with tilt on the grave.
Well, if he's a moronic old yob, he probably will be before he's ready, I should think. Right, let's look at the score. You've got what? How many have you scored?
I've got 30,000, and I'm still going on the same ball.
Right, we've got a commercial
Employing
break
plenty
coming
of
up, so
tilt.
we'll play during that. Listen, in a moment, I have to ask, should men wear makeup? If so, I think I'm getting a headache, but first we'll have another commercial break. Back in a mo.
McVitie's baked biscuit.